rock and roll. It's been one of those times where I couldn't get to the video, like life got in the way, you know. I put in a load of laundry. I've been trying to catch up since I got sick. And what amazes me is how fast stuff accumulates. Like you stop for a second and it's the laundry and the dishes and all those things that we've left undone. So I've been going around like a nut trying to catch up. So maybe there's something in the reading about that. And I think it's, you know, it's how it is, but I wish that I could just pace myself a little bit more. Whose schedule am I, you know, who's cracking the whip here? I live by myself and I work for myself and yet. So maybe there's something in that. And the other thing that I had written down, scratch the surface. I like that idea, and it happens all the time. And it can be positive or negative. You know, whatever that was didn't even scratch the surface. Or, you know, the beginning of something that scratches the surface. We've scratched the surface of something. You know, the tip of the iceberg, that kind of feeling. And the other thing I'd written down, different time, the same station, protecting somebody. So, you know, as I sort of thought, do these two pieces fit together? It might be the idea that, you know, we've scratched the surface of something and we're protecting somebody from what we've discovered, or we're protecting ourselves. I don't know. I don't know the syntax of it yet, but I think it's probably going to play out in some way. It usually does, and I can't often make the connection in the moment. I love you guys. Here we are. Okay. Let's shoot. Shoot our shot. All right, put that there. Big wonkin' crystal this morning, given to me by a friend of mine probably 50 years ago, something like that. At a time when I knew nothing about crystals or the power of gemstones, or I still don't know very much, but boy, that one is that's a strong one. All right. Protecting somebody. Scratch the surface. Queen of Wands. Well, would protect her own energy, because wands are about power and energy and intention and direction. And she attracts things toward her and has to have a filter. You know, because all manner of things will be drawn in, and she gets to kind of bounce them back off. Not that they're bad necessarily, but just they're not, you know, they're sort of in her way in some respect. She's got another intention, doesn't want to be distracted from her own work, which is manifestation, basically. So if something comes in and she, you know, it's not what she manifested, it's not the right time, it's not the right person, their intentions don't match with her, theirs. God, I hate gender. Yeah, so what is Queen of Wands intuiting? Four of Pentacles. It could be that they are holding back, holding themselves back from something. And it's a card of sort of duck and cover. And I'm not sure it's her energy, but it might be, because it has that protective. I mean, you can see this person is, I hope you can see, is crouched down, protecting their pentacles. They might feel that, I almost never read it this way, but that somebody's coming after their money. Or it might be like it looks like a tower to me, doesn't it? In the background. Duck and cover. You know, she may intuit, and I'm just going to say she, fill in the pronoun. She may intuit, Queen of Wands may intuit that there's some kind of, it's going to blow. It's funny because that phrase was in my head this morning. I lay down for a little mini nap, and she's going to blow was kind of sounding a bit of an alarm for me. But Queen of Wands is supremely confident. It's not as if this Queen of Wands person thinks that they're going to be decimated in this tower moment, but they can feel the rumble. So they're sort of anticipating, it's like in an earthquake when you get the pre-shocks, you know, that indicate something's going to blow, or what's happening? What's going to blow? Okay. Boy, these really jumped. They really, really jumped. We have Page of Wands in her energy. I think it, you know, right on the board, there's the it's going to blow scenario. And the Page of Wands is walking away. Queen of Wands energy. I'm carving a new path. I know it's going to blow. I intuit it, Wands energy. So I'm heading this way. I'm drawn this way. You know, it's kind of a hit the road, Jack. It's going to blow. But I always see Tower as a liberation. So I think in some ways, this scenario is too. And this person's getting liberated. It might be a kind of a wake-up call. And in terms of that, somebody's protecting somebody. Well, this is protection, but they're protecting themselves, really. They're maybe not their money, but their life as they know it. Might have something to do with their house. But Tower always implies something's too small. And this crouch, duck and cover thing is a small energy. It's keeping yourself small, keeping yourself safe. That's not a bad idea. But you definitely don't want to live in this kind of situation. And if Queen of Wands somehow it ended up in that kind of, it's going to blow, constricted, you know, because Tower always means it's too tight. It's inhibiting growth. So kabooma, and this doesn't have the kabooma of the Tower card, but it's like somebody's anticipating it. Or it's in the aftermath of it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Under Queen of Wands, Strength card. You know, that's a card of Leo, so it's again in this fire energy. Leo may be involved. This is like the synthesis of of these two. It's a card of peaceful, cooperative blend of energies, whether inside you or outside, you know, with somebody else, within yourself, or both. But it's a relationship that makes both parties stronger, doesn't deplete. And it's in this kind of eternal, you know, it doesn't, there's the infinity loop. I think that's the energy that passes between these two. You know, it's sort of like what happens here. Your energy is big at the table. So what's the Four of Pentacles about? And who's needing to, okay. Again, a block. It's sort of like, don't pass this point. It's a card of the crossroads. I think there's danger up ahead. It's almost like these are the, you know, if you're in a minefield. Okay, Rue is getting ready to come up. If you're in a minefield and you have one of those sweepers, it's a bit as if her swords are the sweepers. What's up ahead? You know, what's up ahead? So let me put out these feelers or these, but you can see she's holding them out, but she's looking the other way. I mean, it's really as if she expects she thinks there's going to be, she's blindfolded, so what are we not seeing or not understanding, or what are we sensing? Okay, all right, I'm sorry, Ruba, you can go this way. I had it blocked with breakfast. She'll forgive me later. So can you tell us about the danger ahead? I mean, whatever it is, the Strength card is here. It's like, that's bravery, courage, forthright, some kind of true energy of cooperation, being brave enough to go forward anyway. Page of Wands. And again, the wand is almost like that same idea of the Two of Swords, something that clears the path so that you can walk the path. It's brave, though. I mean, it really takes courage. If you think you're walking into something you don't understand or don't know, sword energy. Somebody's braced for something. What are they braced for? Another Wands. Two of Wands is a choice. It's a portal. It's a need to decide which direction. You know, it looks to me like a Page of Wands, even though it's a Two of Wands, because it's a child. So there's something innocent about it, or, you know, approaching the decision without an agenda. But this character's at the portal. They haven't passed through yet. Page of Wands and this sort of baby pictured in Two of Wands. Okay. Can you clarify Strength, please? Knight of Swords. Somebody may have heard something, you know, gotten word from somebody somehow, and it might have been like almost anonymous. This person's wearing a mask. Or they, they kind of, not on purpose, said something that you perceived as kind of a warning. On this, because we have 2 2s now. Okay, on 2 of, can you tell us about the portal, please? Oh man, we had that yesterday. That's the kerfuffle, the fight, the... You know, wands are about doing things and direction and intention and intuition, and here there's this clash. It could be internal. It is in one's energy, the energy of that queen. It would be a mistake, really, to engage this kind of person, you know, lightly. And I don't know the dynamic yet, but, you know, Queen of Wands in this kind of would likely win the day. You know, it can be a card of people not knowing what they're doing, but Queen of Wands knows what she's doing, or, you know, she's very confident. Somebody's pausing at the portal, maybe knowing there's trouble on the other side. There's definitely some kind of trouble here, and an indication of warnings and rumblings, and something's going to blow. Tell us about the Queen of Wands. Oh boy. 8 of Wands. It's a card of movement, flow, conversation. And I think somebody may have told Queen of Wands or suggested or let it slip, this Knight of Swords energy. Like, oh, did I actually say that? Oops. But they let it slip, and it may have been a kind of warning. You know, you might want to think about getting out of here. Queen of Wands doesn't take direction. Well, Wands being directional. You know, I'm not sure if somebody said, get on the move, it's going to blow. Queen of Wands person might duck and cover, and then get up and go when she's ready. Tell us about Page of Wands. This is from yesterday too. Ace of Swords. I mean, I think Queen of Wands gets a hit, and it might be delivered by this air sign Knight of Swords person. Ace of Swords. You know, I've got a truth to tell you. It's something like, I'm not supposed to tell you. So there's something sort of incognito about it. But I think Queen of Wands, once it sinks in, takes their advice and gets on the move. But there may be a second stage to it. It's like, summons her courage, gets on the move, and then again there's the block. that there may be a minefield ahead. This is sort of the minefield. It's this great chaotic energy where nobody knows what they're doing or where they're going or what the hell is going on. It's as if, people get scared and they just, everybody goes in a different direction. Maybe they're all anticipating the it's gonna blow business. But there's a way in which Queen of Wands is watching it go down. Watching intuition play out. On Four of Coins, I mean, this is, I love tarot. Look at Tower card. We were talking all about the tower and how it's going to blow, and there it is. It blew. Queen of Wands may have known it was going to blow, had an intuition about it, and the intuition was somehow confirmed by a conversation she had with somebody else. A kind of a heads up. And it may have been somebody who, with whom she had that kind of trust and those two people gained strength and courage from each other. And there was also this kind of implicit, I've got your back. I'll tell you about it. I'll break the rules and let you know. Tower on Two of Swords. Maybe, I guess it was on Four of Coins. I mean, there it is in any case. So I'll just leave it there. I see it as a card of Scorpio, of feelings that have been repressed, or, in too tight a, it's almost as if there was a relationship or a situation that somebody thought it could be contained. I'll hold the fort, I'll hold this down or something, I'll keep it, I'll mitigate this. They might have. And it's also possible that this Queen of Wands person is the one who lit the fuse. She may have lit the fuse. Like, this is too small. Let's trust our intuition and move. Some emotional upheaval, that caused this kind of chaos. Everybody was ducking and covering. Nobody really knew what to do. Tell us about the Two of Swords, please. The choice, the mind, the mind detectors, or whatever they're called. Three of Pentacles. Well, it's a choice about rebuilding something. Do we want to do the work to rebuild this structure, this tower, this? And it looks like Pentacles are about work. It's almost like they get right to work, rebuilding it. Queen of Wands is not so sure. Looking through the portal, trying to decide, which way do I want to go? Basically to avoid this. Queen of Wands not avoidant, but, you know, is not going to walk into a chaotic, catastrophic thing where nobody knows what they're doing, nobody's feeling their way through. Tell us about the rebuilding, please, and the strength and the courage to rebuild something after some kind of chaos plays out. Okay. Three of Swords. So we have Two of Swords, Three of Swords. Three of Coins, Three of Swords is 6. 6 in Major Arcana is Lovers. That's a card of separation and sadness and hurt. It's sort of the after effects of the explosion. There's something about the Queen of Wands being able to walk through the rubble, like almost unaffected by it. And this may have been her own heartache and pain, but it's as if she's, this person has mentally processed it, sword energy. He mentally processed it. Page of Coins. That's kind of the building block. Could be a lesson, but I'm seeing it as like, you know, I can do this much. I'll cooperate by kicking in my share. Not going to do all the lifting. We had that the other day, the idea of who's doing the pedaling or the heavy lifting. King of Wands. Well, I mean, look at this guy. He could do the heavy lifting. He could do it, Wands energy. That Leo energy of strength and courage. And somebody who really blends with Queen of Wands in Wands energy, where they make each other stronger. They could perhaps rebuild this thing together. Queen of Wands is supremely independent, but there's nothing about the relationship between these two that diminishes either one of them. And I think Queen of Wands may be saying, you know, I trust you to help heal this injury. Tell us a little bit about the injury. And there's that thing about trying to protect somebody by telling them, by giving some sort of warning. Tell us about King of Wands and the warning, the desire to protect. And everybody, the people around Queen of Wands are in a panic. And neither King nor Queen of Wands is in a panic. What's going on? Three of Wands. We had that the other day too. That's, you know, opening to the future. We have Two of Wands, Three of Wands. making the decision. And it's as if somebody once described this, and I love it, but that the Two of Wands is like the prayer. You know, sending something out directionally out into the universe and then waiting for the answer. What's the answer to the prayer? Okay, I'll bite. What's the answer to the prayer? King of Swords. Another repeat. Being able to see it clearly and kind of to plan accordingly, because there's been a warning. I think these, you know, these two are the same person. And I think that the King of Swords and King of Wands are the same person, yes. It's almost like, talk about protective. You know, sword drawn, sword up, suited out like a samurai. It's almost like King of Swords is holding the door open. For this one, the pilgrim on the path, the person who's bravely facing the future. This is a card of the future. So there's courage and strength all over this reading. Whatever the duck and cover was, it might have been protective, but it was still an element of bravery in it. Because there was this intuition, you know, it's going to blow and it's going to make a big mess, a big bunch of rubble, a big, you know, this is almost like the timbers of the tower. And then there's a decision about how do we navigate this? And it's like a prayer, you know, asking the universe, can I move through this chaos? And the answer is yes. King of Swords may have some kind of knowledge about what lies ahead. Another repeat. I mean, this is nuts. It's just nuts. This can be a card of reconciliation, of redemption. We're in retrograde, so it's all the rewords, revisiting something, reviving something, new life. And it's almost like it's safe to come up. You know, this crouched person is a little bit reminiscent of this one. And I'm getting the feeling of like it could all come down around Queen of Wands' ears. But Tower needs to come down. It's inherently unstable. So this one crouched for a little while, then stood up and said, you know, let me check this out, this new life. Life after the Tower. And I think there's maybe one more. Ten of Cups. Life after the Tower is looking pretty good. You know, this is emotional energy, Scorpio, as I read it. The emotional upheaval. the prayer answered, the kind of a safe passage through the aftermath, and that reconciliation, forgiveness, and so on, really borne out by the Ten of Cups. So this release of emotion was, in the moment, really disruptive. Like blew up the current situation and left rubble in the wake. And I'm noticing, like, this is awakening. Spirit's making a funny. The wake, awakening. You know, getting up, kind of blinking in the new light, in the new life. Prayer answered, Ten of Cups. It may be that somebody was trying to sabotage the relationship between these two. Create a separation, you know, cause pain, cause division. Three of Swords. But these two survived the tower. It actually freed them to walk a new path. They were able to rebuild because they were cooperating. Three of Pentacles. And I think there's a plan to do that in the near future. Okay. In the near future. Okay. In the near future, this is a card of a time of suspension. It's Piscean energy, like the Tower, Scorpio, about feelings. And this is like processing what happened. In Cups energy, you know, what happened was it blew, but in the aftermath, somehow there's this, it's a release, it's a relief. These people like survived. I think somebody was trying to, you know, had like planted, this is weird, but like planted a tripwire or a, because this can indicate like third party, like somebody else in the mix. And it may have been Queen of Wands herself. I keep getting that, like, you know, somebody was trying to pin Queen of Wands down, you know, put them, like, stick them in the tower. You know, in fairy tales, they stick the queen in the tower, the princess in the tower. So I think Queen of Wands engineered her own escape. She knew what to do. Wands energy, sword energy, Ace of Swords. I knew it. I knew what I had to do. And it's a little bit like the tripwire, or, you know, in the movies when somebody lights the cigarette or lights the match and just throws it over their shoulder and what's behind them goes kaboom. She's a badass. And so is King of Wands. So together, they're like this power couple. you know, but they're going to use it for good. Their superpower for good. It's about seeing it from a different perspective somehow. Once the tower is down and the rubble is cleared and we have this chance at a second life, and let me tell you, you get a chance at a second life, a second wind, a reunion, forgiveness, reconciliation. I'd say take it, but there is this little period of time to, you know, rebuild security or in the wake of this thing. I don't know what the tower was, but I might, you might. But there's really, like, from a safe distance, watching it go down. Averting the disaster. Okay, that's what I got. That's what we got. We have Scorpio in the tower. Some people say it's Aries, but it's always struck me as Scorpio. Transformative emotional energy that just surfaces. We have the Awakening, which is the Judgment card. We have Hanged One, which is Piscean energy. Strength card is Leo. And that's it. Crisis averted. Although I really get the feeling that Queen of Wands may have thrown the match, you know, over their shoulder and walked away. Or walked away and then, you know, and it might have involved telling a truth. Some kind of truth that just brought this thing down. And I sort of hear, I'm not playing, you know. Queen of Wands would say, you know, I've got a decision. I've made the decision to move forward. I've consulted my guides how to do it. I've worked it out. And you're not, you know, I'm willing to make this sacrifice in order to get free. Because this can be a card of sacrifice too. It was worth it. Hanged One, 10 of Cups. I am intrigued by this, and I'd like to go on more, but man, we've gone on so long already. I think I'll call the code. But I like this one. It's a I think she blew it up. Maybe on the basis of what somebody said to her. Maybe on the basis of a warning. She, like, got out. All right. Woo! I'll see you next time. I love you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. I apparently need to keep saying that again and again, and I apologize because it gets old. But yeah, do it anyway, if you would. If you like the video. Okay, see you next time.